Good evening, everyone, and welcome to my another webinar on game design and development. These days, whenever I speak to children, large number of them say, "I want to become a gamer." What is their favorite hobby? Most of the boys who are young and teenagers, they have this favorite hobby of playing games. Now, I ask them, "Okay, what do you want to do in gaming?" They say, "I want to become a gamer." Now, I always tell them becoming a gamer is really difficult because the career opportunities in gaming per se is very, very limited because you'll have to sit in front of the screen. It has got its own effect on your body and your brain. And the number of people who are trying to get into this industry is huge. So I always tell them, why not become something in game development industry? I'll be, of course, touching upon this whole thing. A very interesting fact is that today the gaming industry is growing at a rate of 41% per year. This kind of growth, majority of the industries do not have. So, with this in mind, I thought, why not do a webinar on game design and development? Because a lot of students are very keen on becoming game designers, gamer, of course. And how can you become a part of the gaming industry, which is really booming? Now, there are some humanities students, there are some commerce students who say we also want to get into the gaming industry. So, when I had sent out the flyer for this for this webinar, so the first thing I said, don't worry if you are a humanities student or a commerce student, it is not necessary you have to be a science student to get into the gaming industry. So, with this prelude, let's talk about this fantastic, beautiful industry, which is the game design and development. But before we get on to this, I just want to ask the audience, where all have you joined from? So can you just type it in your chat box? Where have you all joined from? I can see that the window is full. The maximum participants which I can accommodate today, I've already got. And I'm already getting messages and phone calls saying that a lot of people are not able to join in. Nevertheless, what we'll do is I'll just record it on YouTube and I'll send it to you whoever is not able to attend. And of course, large number of you are attending on YouTube channel also. So great. So can you just type in the chat box where all have you joined in from? Okay, I'll just give you a few seconds. Okay, fantastic. Somebody's written Bangalore, Delhi, Kolkata. Okay, Gandhinagar, Ahmedabad, Secunderabad. Okay, I'm also in Secunderabad. Good, good, good. You joined in from Secunderabad. Okay, Kerala, Kochi. Okay, great, great. And I can see Bangalore again. Okay. Oh, a lot of cities from across. Oh, somebody joined from Dubai. Oh, that's great. Qatar. Okay. Malaysia. Okay, great. Oh, okay, all of you. It's great to have you all on board, and we'll be spending about 40 odd minutes with me. And I hope I'll be able to do justice. Okay, so we get on to this. So I'll ask you a question. Please don't unmute yourself. What you can do is you can again type in the chat box, and of course, large number of you are attending through YouTube. In case you wish, you can put it on the YouTube chat also. But I wouldn't be able to see it now. Probably at a little later stage, when I go through the YouTube video, I'll be able to see that. So this question is thrown up to the audience again. Which is the sector which is employing the maximum architects, town planners, interior decorators, hackers, anthropologists, and visual merchandisers? Some of you might not be knowing what is visual merchandisers. They are the ones who are responsible for designing the layout of a particular place, whether it is a showroom or a factory setup, or if it's a textile room, whichever place, the visual merchandisers are the ones who are supposed to do the setup in such a manner that you attract the customers or you attract the eyeballs. So again, can you just type in the chat box which is this sector which is attracting the maximum of these talents? Okay, most of you are attending the since you are attending the webinar, most of you have written that it is gaming industry. Okay, probably that was a clue because since you are attending this, yes, the maximum people who are getting employed in all these sectors are from the game industry. Otherwise, if you talk about some of this, like architects, to a large extent, architects, till a few years back, majority of them are they're not able to find jobs because the number of buildings being constructed and the number of architects getting into the market, there was a major over output, means there were more output of architects rather than the number of architects required. So now what is happening is they are about 2 months back, I had attended a webinar in which a principal of an architecture college was speaking, and he was saying large number of the students who are passing out the architecture course these days are getting straight employed in the gaming industry, where they are making virtual buildings, not real buildings, but virtual buildings. And landscaping, beautiful things they are doing. Anthropologists, you must be wondering, because anthropology was something large number of students do not want to study, and this was something, a field which was actually dying down. But today this field is really coming up because large number of people have understood the importance of anthropologists. They study the human behavior. So now, if I can predict the human behavior, I can give the product according to what they would prefer. So anthropology again has getting a huge amount of traction in these kind of sectors. So of course, the answer is game design and development. Now, are you interested in any of these things which I'm just mentioning? Any or many of the things which I'm just mentioning? Designing characters, outfits, oblique ambience, coding, playing computer games. Of course, most of the boys, I'm sure, love playing computer games. Not only boys, even people of my age love playing computer games. Just that I don't have time, but if given some opportunity, I would love to sit on the computer and play games. Computer programming languages, testing early version of video games. What a fantastic career! You get to test early versions of most of the video games which is coming in the market. Project management tasks, creativity, attention to detail, storytelling. How is storytelling connected to gaming industry? I'll come to that later. Exhibiting leadership skills. So if you are interested in any of these, you are welcome to join the gaming industry. Now, what do you do in this career? So some of you must be wondering, what exactly can I do? First is conceptualize initial design. So that is what is the most important part of a gaming industry or a game is. So before I decide on what game I should bring into the market, first I have to have an initial design in my mind, or written it somewhere, or coded in the computer, or in terms of a program. Then create visual aspects of the game, design, build, develop, deliver high quality coding, debug program to solve problems, survey market trends, produce audio feature for the game, test technical strategy and execution, plan resource, and manage developmental process, which is the last two are the senior roles. Because see, anything requires marketing, anything requires management. There will be huge amount of employees which will be employed. Here there will be office space which will have to manage. There will have to be salaries to be taken care of, operations which has to be taken care of, which is basically administration, logistics, how to market it, how to sell it, what are the finances, how is the profit going to be calculated. So all these things are very important. So from end to end, it is not only about just making a computer game. Testing, sound, good quality sound, everything is integral part of this career. So what does a gaming designer do? So I would recommend, request all of you to watch this video. I'm sure you'll love this video. This is exactly what a game developer does. So please enjoy this video.
Video game designers create the rich, exciting worlds that allow us to indulge our imaginations and immerse ourselves in an alternate reality. If you play video games, you've probably thought about turning it into a career, but no, there are many dimensions to this occupation. Video game designers start with a list of concepts narrowed down by a large team of developers to the best one. Teamwork is essential in this field as designers collaborate on role-play mechanics, storylines, character development, graphics, and everything in between. They are likely to need expertise in programming languages and game design computer software as well. They usually work in office settings with typical office hours, expanding to overtime as project deadlines approach. A single project usually lasts about 2 years, and crunch time can last months. But through it all, these designers still report high levels of job satisfaction. To enter the field, some will create a portfolio of video game designs and concepts that will help them get noticed and hired. Others start out as quality assurance testers and work their way up. A bachelor's degree in computer science isn't usually required, but can be helpful if you lack other experience. These professionals aren't just making games, they're designing the future of gameplay experience.
Okay, so that is what generally a game designer do. Now, who can study game designing and development? So, game designing and development is a highly creative and it is for highly creative and passionate individuals. This field, like any other field, requires a lot of involvement, patience, innovation, creativity are essential skills. And you should be interested in creating games, learning professional skills, and game development process. First and foremost word, if I could say, is passion. If you are passionate about this field, you can make it. And it does not require big degrees, of course. Having a technical degree helps you. But today, large number of these gaming industry looks for what skills you have rather than what degrees you have. Now, what are the different famous companies which are there? One is Electronics Art, which is California, USA, Ubisoft, Gameloft, Nintendo, Japan, Sony, Microsoft, Valve Corporation, Rockstar Games, Sega Games Company Limited, and PUBG. Of course, PUBG it is written here Korea, but there's a big debate whether it is a Korean company or a Chinese company. We are still not sure. So these are the famous companies, but there are some more popular games. So when we talk about games, then of course the most important one is PUBG. It was in news for very wrong reasons because initially India had banned it. After that, now the Indian version of PUBG has come. League of Legends, Valorant, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Teen Patti, Minecraft, Witches, Grand Theft, Doom Eternal, Candy Crush Saga, Fortnite. So there are innumerable other games. Whenever I speak to children on my career counseling sessions, every day I come to hear about some new games which are playing. But majority of the students, if I could say, the maximum I would say would be generally Valorant or PUBG. So these are the two major games which the students are playing. In addition to that, all of you, I'm sure most of you would have watched this IPL matches, which is being played in India or UAE, all those things. So during that time, you'll see Dream 11 advertisements coming up, which has been promoted by Dhoni, and not leaving behind. Simultaneously, you'll find Mobile Premier League (MPL), which is promoted by Virat Kohli, also coming up. Then, other than that, Fantasy Premier League, My Team 11, Dream Fantasy Cricket, K11, Mojo, Fantasy. So there is n number of games in this field, and of course, you will see one new game coming up every day. So if you realize that the market is huge, that is why so many games are coming up in the market every day. If they are testing the waters and seeing there is no much market, I'm sure so many games will not be coming every day. Now the thing is, how do I enter this career? So large number of you will be having this question: how can I enter this career? So there are different levels through which you can enter this career. First is like I am not interested in studies. After 10th, I don't want to bother myself. I just want to chase my passion. Now I am passionate about gaming. So after 10th, you can enter through any stream. You can do certification levels. So you can do certifications from recognized recognized universities. You can do courses from e-learning websites like Udemy is there. Course, of course, I'll be talking about what all certification you can do. So there's a lot of certification which is available. So you can do from that, you can do C++, you can do Java, you can do Python, you can do coding, you can do any number of courses, and there are plethora of courses and they are dead cheap, starting from, if you want a certificate, there are some free courses also, but generally for a certificate course, you'll have to pay somewhere from 500 rupees upwards, but they are not at all expensive. They are very normal. Diploma courses, generally you have 2-year diploma programs after 10 standard, which you can go in for. Graduate level courses, like that is after your 12th, you can go into BSc animation, BSc gaming. There's so many today. Thankfully, the Indian education system has also realized the importance of gaming. So there's a lot of new courses every year. There are a lot of new courses coming up at the graduation level and in the mass graduation level also, bachelor design in gaming, animation, and all those things which you can say. So what are the courses you can excel in? You can do PG diploma in game development, MSc BSc Game Technology, Bachelor of Design in Gaming, BSc Graphic Animation and Gaming, BA Digital Design, BTech Computer Science, BSc Visual Communication. So these are some of the prominent courses which you can do. So now I'll talk about, when you want to take certifications. So from where you can start. So some of the best certifications you can find you can see in the brackets, Coursera, Udemy, edX, and Digital Defined. So these are the four websites. You can just do a search. You can either do C++ programming, in Unreal Engine, complete Unity developer, computer science, game design, Unity course and training. So you can do all these courses from any of these e-learning websites, and there is no age limit for it. So if you are a student in 8th standard, 7th standard, I've got a lot of queries. Some of you are putting in the chat also. When can I start this? Let me tell you, my dear children, students, there is no age limit for starting these certification programs. There is, when you look at the qualification required, they do not give any minimum qualification. You can start in your 6th standard, you can start whichever class you wish to. Start acquiring these certifications as soon as possible. That gives you two advantages. First, why I say whenever I do career counseling, I keep telling the students to take certification in the field which you are very keen on. Two major advantages. First major advantages, firstly, you will test your water, how good you are in that particular field. When you get into that field and you start learning about it, I might be very good at playing computer games, but am I good at developing these games? I will only come to know when I start doing these certifications. That is one. Second thing is, when you go in with certifications, and when you say at some point of time when you are 22, 23, 24, whenever you're applying for jobs, and when your resume says you started doing certifications in this industry when you were in 7th standard or 8th standard or 9th standard, that will talk volume of the passion which you had for this particular job. That is second advantage. One more advantage, if I can say, is there are some children who feel I'm great at it, but when you actually start studying, you'll realize, no, this is not my cup of tea. So probably you can switch stream. You can switch your channel and say, okay, this is, even though I love playing games on the computer, I don't think this is something where I can get into. So let me just enjoy myself and look for a stable career somewhere else. So either which way it works for you. Next is the diploma level courses which you can do. There are diploma in game design and integration, professional diploma in game art, diploma in animation, gaming and special effect, 3D game content, and advanced diploma in game program. So there are n number of diplomas which you can do. Graduation level, like I said some time back, thankfully the Indian education system has started adapting to this new technology. They started introducing courses like BSc in graphic animation and gaming, BA in digital filmmaking, BTech, of course, BTech computer science will help you in any case to get into any of these fields, and Bachelor of Design in animation, films design. And in the master's level, you have integrated MSc in multimedia and animation, MSc in gaming. So MSc in gaming, MSc in game design and development, multimedia animation, animation film design. So there are n number of courses which you can find here. Next is, what are the institute that is offering game courses in designing and development? There are n number of them in our country. Forget about foreign soil, foreign countries also. This is something which has been widely accepted, and the number of mix and matches courses which you can do in foreign universities is humongous. However, in India, there are like National Institute of Design where you can do Bachelor of Design in design gaming, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth, Pune, it's Arena Animation, Film and Television Institute of Tamil Nadu, St. Xavier's College, ANIMATOR Academy, Loyola College, Chennai. So this is just a few of them. I've just randomly picked up, and some of them are very elite institutions. But this is not the end. There are a number of institutions which are giving. Now will come, what are the career opportunities? So all of you must be keen to know, what all opportunities do I have? So if you see here, game designer, narrative designer, game animator, sound game designer, game developer, game tester, DevOps engineer, game journalist, public critic, and marketing. So one by one, we'll talk about who are these. first career if you want to do is the game design. So they are that person, he or she is the most important person who's conceived the idea of game designing. So they are the architect of the game. Their work includes planning and then working out all the elements of the game, setting the rules, environment, story flow, and all those. So basically, the game designer is like the one who's conceived this idea and said, okay, this is the kind of game I have. This is the kind of market research I have done, and this is where I can fit in this game. This is the age bracket I'm looking at. This is the kind of people who will be enjoying it. So these all things include in the game design. Now, what is the educational qualification required? Ideally, a bachelor's in game design or BTech in game computer engineering. So, okay, somebody just typed in the chat. Okay, somebody's typed in the chat. What is the ideal career path? Okay, ideal career path to become a game designer. Okay, so for that, what I would recommend is the best path is in 11th and 12th have PCM, physics, chemistry, mathematics. English is a compulsory subject. Fifth subject, computer science, ideal. So PCM, computer science and English should be your subjects in 11th and 12th. When you go for your graduation, ideally go for a BTech in computer science or you have artificial intelligence or robotics or software engineering or even electronics. So any of these, go for a BTech degree. After that, you can do a lot of certifications. Then if you get into the gaming industry, or of course you can do MTech or MSc in gaming. After that, when you go into the gaming industry, your basics will be very clear. Even though I said after 10th standard also you can take certifications and go into the gaming industry, but the difference would be somebody who's taken BTech or MTech and coming into the game industry, or somebody just come from humanities stream and looking at the technical aspects. In the longer run, of course, I have to talk about you sustaining in this industry for at least 30 years. So if you have to serve the work in this field for 30 years, ideally do your homework well and get in there. Because at some point of time, when you go looking at the senior management roles, your technical skills and your qualifications matter a lot. So that is the ideal qualification. Okay, I'll come back to the career opportunities. Next is the narrative designer. Now, this narrative the narrative designer is the one who add context to the story. Okay, so if I'm playing, say, PUBG, so if I don't have interesting story, after 1 day, 2 days, I'll get bored. No fun. What is this? Every day I'm doing the same thing. There is nobody new coming. What is this? So that will come to my mind. So what happens is the narrative designer is the one who's supposed to say, okay, this kind of villain we should have, they should be defeated. This is the tools which will be there. This is where the creativity comes. Okay, this is the person who brings in the creativity. He's not much into technical, but he's into the story flow. So it is this person who's supposed to make the game interesting, and because this is interesting, he's the one who's supposed to get more and more clients who are going to play this game. Again, so this is more about storytelling. So here the bachelor's in English literature or mass communication along with certification, creative writing and script writing is good. So this is where I want to tell my humanities students who are interested in the gaming industry, this is where you can fit in. You are the one who's supposed to make the game very interesting for others. It's something like a movie director or a movie story writer. So you make the game enjoyable and interesting for others. Next is the game animator or the visual artist. Now, he's the one who gives the physical structures to the characters, objects, environments, sceneries. Now, they are the ones who give skin textures to the each character. Water become glossy on the road, or when it rains, the surface is looking slippery. The shadow is in accordance with the source of light. If it's a bright sun, so the shadow will be thicker. If it is the evening sun, so the shadow will be not that bright. So he or she is the one who's supposed to make the roles or not the roles, the entire minute details of the gaming features. Very, very interesting. So here is the one I was talking about where architects will come in play. So if it's a building, so I'll tell you, you are an architect, sit down here, make fantastic buildings. So when my people are playing the game, they don't want to see all those normal buildings. Buildings should look amazing. The buildings which they see in my game should be something like, wow, such a beautiful building. Even though they're playing the game, but they're looking at the ambience. They're looking at something like when I'm driving, I'm not interested what kind of buildings are there on the road. But when I see a beautiful building, I say, wow, so beautiful. Even though I'm supposed to travel another 500 kilometers and reach my destination, I've got nothing to do with this building or with this road. Just that I'm traveling through it. But then in my mind, I feel so nice to see that beautiful building on the road. Same happens with the game animator or a visual artist who's supposed to give that wow feeling to those characters or the game players at every stage. Next is the sound engineer or the audio designer. So when I'm firing at my firing with my AK-47 rifle, it should not sound like a pataka which I am doing it in the Diwali. It should sound like a weapon which is firing with a lot of heavy load. So I feel nice when my fire when the weapon is making good noise. If it is making a very very tuss kind of a sound, I wouldn't enjoy it. So this is where the sound engineer comes. When the car is screeching, it is going, or when I am riding a horse, the horse is the hoof sound, the horse galloping sound, and any game I am playing, or when I am playing the cricket, the beautiful sound of the bat hitting the ball. One of the sweetest sound for any cricketer would say that the sound of bat hitting the ball. So all these things has to be minutely worked, calculated, so that you give a beautiful experience to your customers. So here the education which is required is bachelor's in sound engineering or audiography. That is all which is required. So this is how you integrate this. Next is the game developer or the programmer. So now this is the guy who's in charge of the technical aspects. Now I have made the game. Somebody's given the effect. Somebody's given the sound. But now what is most important is how do this coding or this program runs. If it is crashing every other day, I played today for half an hour and it crashed for next half an hour and took so much of time for me to recover and come back to the place where I've left my game. So every other day, if there is a problem, technical issue which is happening, then I'm not going to enjoy this game. So this person is the technical person behind the entire gaming industry. So here it's a bachelor's in game programming, game development is an option. A BTech public B in computer science is best. So this is where your C++ learning or a Java or a coding or Python, all those languages which you have learned, the certifications that they done, this is where this will come handy. Now comes the game tester. This must be a dream job for a large number of students. I've come across large number of students who say I want to become a game tester. Who would not love to test something which is their passion? So here, basically, you have to have good knowledge of games. So a game developer, a game tester is the one who tests the early version of the games. So I have made a game. I'll call, okay, buddy, come here. You are very fond of playing PUBG, Valorant, Minecraft, and all those comes that I'll give you some money. You can play this game for next 2 days and tell me how do you feel. When you compare this with other games, you tell me what is good about this game, what is bad about this game. So here, a game tester is the one who will give. It is something like a food tasting or a wine tester or anybody. So this is a very very interesting field. Education qualification required, of course, BTech in computer science is required. There are even certifications which you can take. That is ISTQB certification, that an Indian testing board. In case you want to be a certified tester, then you need to take these certifications. Of course, if you are interested in playing this game, you can give comments. But if you want to be a certified tester, then these are the things which will be required. Next is the DevOps engineer. DevOps means development and operations. So here, since it's becoming more and more online focused. The DevOps engineers are required to create and maintain the network and servers. So even though the person like him, the program developer has done his coding and everything proper, but still I have to ensure that all the servers across the world support it. The network is good enough for me to transmit my games into different levels. If I play one level today and I'm joining the game tomorrow, it should not happen that it is showing that you have to start from the beginning itself. So the DevOps engineer is basically the one who will be maintaining the servers and everything at the local level, national level, and international level. So it's basically a cross-function of this development and operations, which means he's expected to know coding skills as well as handle the operations, network, everything. Again, if you are an engineer, it will be good. Next comes the game journalist public critic. So you must have seen a lot of film critics whenever earlier, because of Corona, majority of the films are not coming in the theaters. But otherwise, every time a Salman Khan movie or a Shah Rukh Khan movie or a Akshay Kumar movie is released, first thing you see is what is the review. So some people will come on the TV in the morning shows or in the evening shows, and they say, okay, this movie is fantastic. I would give a 4.5 star out of 5, and all these things. And we actually listen to them because they are renowned and unbiased critics. So Mr. Makhija, who is there on the tech show, the Makhija show, you would have heard. So what happens is he has got a lot of clout in the technical industry. So if he says, okay, this game is good, I love playing this has got this advantages, this is, and all this, then a lot of people will come in. But not necessarily you have to be a technical person. So it could be a journalist, it could be entertainer, it could be influencer. So it could be anybody. You are very good at writing, so you could be anybody. So this is again where a humanity student can come into play. And the next one is the game marketing management. So there is a lot of people who are required to market or manage. So as I have to run a company, somebody has to take care of the finances, somebody has to be in the human resource development where they take care of the employees' welfare, pay and everything, leave, everything. Somebody has to be in the marketing, somebody has to be in the operations, the administration. So there is huge amount of work which revolves around running a company, to market it well, to sell it well, to manage your employees and all this. So here even a commerce student is most welcome to join our gaming industry, because if you have an MBA or any other management degree, it helps you into marketing or human resource or operations, finance, anything. So this is the gaming industry. So, and there are some other job opportunities which is there. Like I said, architect, interior designer. You must be wondering what is interior designer doing, because when I'm talking about different uh, buildings, it should look beautiful from outside. When I enter a room, even though I'm shooting at the enemy, but still I will look to I look around and I would love to feel good that I'm in a very nice ambience. Fashion designer, the clothes matter a lot. It's not necessary it has to be a shooting game. It could be a party game. Yeah, there is a party game. I forgot the name. House party. Yeah, a lot of people play that. Town planner. The town looks no good. Cybersecurity expert. Yeah, there's a lot of hacking which is happening. So if one particular game web channel is doing well, so the others would like to hack them and then spoil their network. So ethical hacker, cybersecurity expert, data scientist to do a lot of research. Okay, what is the data which is going to be involved, and how can I market, what segment, what time. Like when the exams are coming, if I launch a new game, it's a bad strategy. Whereas if the vacations are just started and launch a new game, it's a good strategy. So the data scientist works. What are the strategy? Which is the time maximum children spend and all this. Vehicle and transportation designer. Of course, the vehicles also needs to look good. Web developer for different websites to be developed, maintained, run across the platforms. So these are the certain other job opportunities which is connected with the gaming industry. What is the future of gaming industry? By 2024, gaming industry in India is set to be valued at $3,750 million and is expected to grow at a rate of 41% annually. So this is why I was saying this is one of the best industries and the fastest growing industry. India is the second largest market worldwide for app download. So these are the market trends today, and with a lot of online gaming going up every day, the market is only going to improve. So, my dear students, that is all from my side. In case you have any questions or you have any doubts, you can note down my number 94490 53600. And of course, I'm a career counselor, so I love to talk to children, encourage them, motivate them, mentor them. So all these things I love to do. And of course, I'm a psychological counselor also. So I love to deal with children. Being part of the growth of children is my favorite passion. And more importantly, I've been fortunate to mentor more than 1,000 children, look after their mental health, career guidance, and a number of opportunities. So in case you have any doubt, anything, you're most welcome to write to me. I wouldn't like to take much questions now because you can send it to me on my WhatsApp 94490 53600. And this I come to the end. I hope all of you have a great future ahead. Anything, you're most welcome to message me. And Jai Hind, and take care. Be safe, be good, work hard, focus on your life. Thank you very much. Jevin, if you're hearing me, stop.